And we're back. How about it? Part 2 of the Texas Longhorn victory against West Virginia. If you haven't seen them Eyes of Texas, they're right here in front of you. Doug's right here. He's hyped up for this victory. Number 22 Texas went to town in Austin and beat them West Virginia Mountaineers, the backwoods up there. Anyway, I won't get too deep into where they're from. But, anytime we play someone from West Virginia, I like to make mountain jokes, But anyways, Doug, your next game.
Town is a sad town tonight. I'm just gonna say.
Hey, I believe that. No, your next game, y'all have a bye week. Then your next game's against Les Miles up in. It'll actually be at Kansas, so y'all get a taste of that grass up there. I'm sure Les Miles will be eating all the grass. Maybe he'll save Tom Herman some. I don't know. But check it out, man.
Brother. That it's turf at Kansas.
Do they have turf at Kansas?
I don't know how great him eating that turf's gonna be, but
hey, that's a dumb football moment. I'm sorry. How do you feel about your chances on winning this Big 12 championship, Doug, or at least getting to go to a? Do y'all have a championship game still?
Yes.
Okay.
Big 12 championship is still in the works. It's still got a really good chance right now. I checked the scores just now with Kansas State, Oklahoma State. Looks like Kansas State might hang in there. They might hang in there and make all kinds of craziness going on in the Big 12.
All right, let's talk some what ifs. Okay, let's say OK State gets beat. That would put them at 3-2 in the conference play. That put K-State. You said K-State's beating them, correct?
Right.
That put K-State at 5-1 in the conference, and then Iowa State. They still have to play. I think. I'm not sure.
At that point, if Kansas State does pull this win out against Oklahoma State, it's a win and you're in for Texas.
Really?
I believe that's the scenario because, Oklahoma has 2 losses in the Big 12 also. So it'll be all kinds of two-loss teams in the conference. So, we ain't fighting for no, college football playoff, but
right,
we're fighting for that.
You definitely want to win your conference. Now we're still on some what ifs. Just say that game, whoever wins, someone's going to drop out in Texas. It looks like we'll move up. We'll see. You guys, like we talked about earlier, and I guess 3 weeks from now, y'all play Iowa State. And then possibly, let's just throw this out there, possibly meet back up with them in the Big 12 championship. There's 100 scenarios this could go.
It would have to come down to Bedlam at that point. It would have to come down between Oklahoma State and Oklahoma. And I believe that might be one of the last games of the season in the Big 12. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But if Oklahoma, it would end up, if Texas were to win out with the Oklahoma State loss tonight, if Texas were to win out, they would be in the rider's seat for the Big 12 championship. And the winner of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State would meet them in Dallas.
Gotcha. Well, Doug, it sounds, I'm be honest with you, man, looking at the schedule, looking at y'all standings, and looking at everything in the Big 12, I'm brutally honest. It looks like y'all got a very good chance to win this thing.
Really good chance, but there are some dangerous teams left on our schedule. Kansas State, like I just said, they're up on Oklahoma State right now. That's a dangerous team. That coach, he's coming from North Dakota State. He's a good coach. I like him. I like what he's doing at Kansas State. Iowa State is still on our schedule. You cannot count out the phones, brother.
Well, Doug, let me throw this out there. As we speak, Oklahoma State just went up.
The thing is, the state of like a Texas Longhorn fan right now is that you win out or Tom Herman's gone.
As we speak right now, number 14, Oklahoma State just went up 20-12 on K-State. Basically, what I'm saying is there's 6.
We got to root for Oklahoma now. I got to root for Oklahoma there.
I had to throw that in there. Also, Doug, you just mentioned something that just kind of struck a nerve. You said if they went out, you said somebody keeps a job. Is that correct?
They went out and they win the Big 12 championship. Tom Herman keeps his job.
Dude, I'm fine with them winning the Big 10, Doug. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna sit here
and win the Big 10 if they were even in
it. Hey, if they schedule you, huh?
Ohio State is.
It seems like they don't want to schedule Texas.
Country. Like, let's get that straight right now. Ohio State is one of the better teams in the country. Texas would get blown off the map by Ohio State. Let's get that out of there.
Hey, I like to.
There is no team in the Big 12 that could match with Ohio State. Let's be honest.
Hey, I can't post this.
Honest, I'm a Texas fan.
You're the spokesman for the fan base as I am for Southern Miss, and I'll tell you, man, Texas fans won't like what you just said, but I guess I can't post this now. No.
But they're delusional if they disagree.
No, you're right. I agree with that. So real quick,
I'm happy we're in the Big 12. Actually, I'd much rather play Big 12 teams than Big 10 teams. Trust me.
No, I'm with that. Let me ask you something real quick. Your thoughts, and we've discussed this off the record, but your thoughts on these guys leaving, these commits that y'all are getting. I mean, my God, I think I've seen 3, 4, 5-star guys.
Quinn Ewers was a big one. It was a big one.
And now, as you just spoke about Ohio State
program, it's an indictment on this program.
Yeah, and with Evers, real quick, as you mentioned,
why would you send your son somewhere that they're not winning games? That they should be winning these games.
You mentioned Evers, and then you just mentioned Ohio State earlier. Doug, I hate to say this, but he's crystal ball predicted to go to Ohio State after decommitting from Texas. Which that don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. You guys will go and find somebody that can, Vince Young it up, I'm sure. And
hey, Casey Thompson. He's in the quarterback room right now. He's the backup.
Oh man, I forgot. That's right. I'm sorry.
Quarterback.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah.
Hey, maybe we get Sam Ehlinger to take advantage of this COVID situation. So he gets another year of eligibility.
That's true, and I'm fine with that. And I think Sam would do that. That son of a bitch loves Texas.
If there were any other quarterback that would take advantage of that, I believe it would be Sam Ehlinger.
For sure. So we'll go ahead and say Texas wins the Big 12. We're pretty confident on that. I am. I don't think Doug is.
We ain't confident on that.
I am.
I'm just saying. I'm confident in Tom Herman keeping his job.
Even with
the Big 12.
Even without losing the Big 12, he keeps his job. Let's make some predictions. Big 12, just say Texas.
No, the only way that the Texas fan base is going to think that he's the legitimate coach for the future is if he wins the Big 12 this year. I'm sorry.
Well, Doug, I got to ask you this.
I was a Tom Herman fan, but what have you done for me lately?
Thank you. That is the biggest question in Southern Miss football right now, and you couldn't have hit anything more perfect with me. And what have you done for me lately, Southern Miss? Brett Favre, you haven't been there in fucking years. You know what? Let's get back to Texas because I don't want to get on the rant.
Easy with the F-balls. I want to keep this clean.
No, real quick.
I'm on your
right.
I'm telling you to keep it clean.
Hey, I appreciate that. I am trying to keep it a better voice here.
Tom Herman's had 4 years, and he had 2 terrible losses this season that they shouldn't have lost those games. Oklahoma was down. You should have beat Oklahoma. You shouldn't have went to 4 overtimes. Your quarterback shouldn't have just showed up with 4 minutes left in the football game. You should have been playing for 56 more minutes.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
It's an indictment on Tom Herman. If he does not win out and win the Big 12 against Oklahoma State, whatever, I'm on the higher Urban Meyer team.
That was my next question. I've seen it all over the Texas group boards, and there's so many people that have not done nothing but talk up Urban Meyer. Doug, do you think, and this will be my last question for you, if you got some more statements, just go on with it. But look, this is what I got. If we do hire, and I say we because I'll put myself in the fan base for a quick second. If we do hire Urban Meyer and we see Tom go, do you think Tom Herman would turn this program around? And that's a basic question.
I don't believe because of player development. Like the issue is that you show player development throughout the season, but that player development doesn't roll over to the next season. Like there's times like with Joseph Osai right now. Joseph Osai is a perfect example. His development from game 1 to now is he's a first round draft pick.
Yes, like, I agree.
Even top 10 of that first round.
He's good.
He's played. But he didn't gain much from where he was last season. Like last season, he was doing these things too. So, like, he hasn't excelled much.
Yeah,
still doing the exact same things he did last season.
Yeah,
but he hasn't excelled.
Well, I've also seen a lot of folks saying the only reason he's standing out is because we lost some guys that went pro.
How much better this year is Sam Ehlinger than he was last year?
You're on to something. You're on to something, man. And it's bad. It's sad.
Player development. And Urban Meyer's even made a comment about that, about Texas and their player development.
Yeah. You guys always seem to get 5-star recruits. You guys get 11 guys.
We get top 5 recruiting classes every year. I'm okay. Yeah, we get top 5 recruiting classes every year. That don't make any difference to me. What means something to me is when I see my dudes on Sunday doing stuff. When I go out there and I see Puda Ford at Seattle.
That was the name I was about to throw out. Funny. That's funny.
He's killing it at Seattle. And I go out and I see Andre Diggs. Andre Diggs is making plays out there.
Well, Doug, what happened to the days where the Chiefs drafted nothing but Texas players? On my show here, I got to bring up the old Chiefs.
Right. What happened to that? What happened to Derek Johnson's?
Yes.
What happened to the
Jamal
Charles's, Priest Holmes?
Countless.
What happened to those guys?
Countless. And I want you to know when we got them, they were good.
We got a couple of like NFL players at Texas right now, but they should be so much farther progressed. Like they should be on a much higher plane, like they are at Alabama, at Clemson, at all these other teams.
All right, Doug, check it out. I hate to cut you off. You got a minute left. Let's talk a couple more seconds. I'm gonna give you the floor, and you wrap it up for us the Longhorn way. Give us some final thoughts on beating West Virginia. Are you shocked? Are you happy? Give us some.
It was expected. I expected Texas to win this game, and I'm happy that they did win this game. And I'm happy that we are moving in the right direction. We're knocking teams off. We're moving in the right direction to get to the Big 12 championship. The Big 12 championship is key for this team, for this coach, for this team to succeed. And no, I'm optimistic about this season, actually.
All right. Well, listen here, folks. The Sibby Sports Show, we're out. Hook 'em horns. And we're out, baby.